Good morning, I'm Donna Robsfeld from DOHR, and I just want to pick up on something which is all over the news today, and it's to do with the Equality and Human Rights Act. It's to do with the provision of single-sex spaces to people who are biologically female or biologically male. Now, at the moment, the guidance that's come out is all about service providers. So if you run a hospitality setting, if you run a community centre, if you run a sports club or anything like that. What they haven't yet done is released guidance for employers. But that actually doesn't make a difference at this stage. As an employer, you still need to be thinking about how do you ensure the integrity and safety of all of your staff, regardless of how they identify. So while there is an absolute duty on you now to protect the spaces available to single-sex employees, that's not quite what I mean, but to people of each sex, people of each gender, through the provision of changing rooms or toilets, there is also an obligation on you to think about how do you provide a safe space for people with disabilities, how do you provide a safe space for people who identify as having a different gender to the one that they were born with. The simplest way to do this is by having both male, female and mixed toilets. So that might be an accessible toilet where perhaps there might be a baby change unit, there might be a disabled bar, there may be different facilities in there, and then having your male and female toilets separately. But in the workplace, you may only have one or two toilets. They may be self-contained. And in those cases, what we're encouraging you to do is to make each one of those unisex. So if they're self-contained, so there is a toilet and a sink in each cubicle and the walls go from ceiling to floor, then it would be a reasonable step to remove a male or female sign from the door and indicate that people of all genders or none are able to use those toilets and those facilities. It's something that is going to vary from workplace to workplace. It's something that's going to depend on the space you have. It's something that's going to depend on what's practical in your environment. But just because the legislation isn't out on this yet doesn't mean that there isn't law in this area. As an employer, you have an obligation to protect the physical and psychological health and safety of all of your staff. So what do you need to do as an employer in your working environment to ensure that all of your staff feel valued, safe and secure? If you need help, you know where to find us. Give us a ring. We'll talk you through your particular setup. Take care. Have a lovely long weekend.